Good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. And thank you for tuning in to Third Coast Ministries. Right now,
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Yo, Brian.
What's up? Tell them where you from.
Straight out of Matagapa.
all right, so it's your favorite missionary with the attitude, Brian from Third Coast Ministries. And today I want to talk about attitude of gratitude. Today is Thanksgiving, so just kind of wanted to touch on that. So what is an attitude of gratitude? Well, to me, it is something that you should have every day, not just the fourth Thursday in November. If you're from the United States, you should have this attitude of gratitude every day. And what does that entail? Well, first, it seems to be in culture nowadays, especially with social media and all that, everyone puts up the best parts of their lives. And a lot of people feel like, oh man, I don't have this, I don't have that, I'm not good enough, this person's never gonna love me, blah, 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 and those are all negative things. And we as a people tend to focus on what we don't have. I don't have this, I don't have this. But if you turn that around and focus on what you do have, man, your life will be so much better. Trust me. I'm living proof of it. And I want to tell you about a story from my life, or my personal experience. Those of you that know me really well know about these times. Most of you who just kind of know me from the last 4 or 5 years probably don't know about this. But there was a time where it was just several years were just rough. And I found myself probably in the lowest spot I've been in probably ever in my entire life. And I'd gotten let go from a job, and something shady happened with the house we were staying at, where we told we had to get out. And man, I didn't have anywhere to go. But luckily, fortunately for me, my boy Eddie was like, hey, you know what, we got room, you can come stay in the garage. And a lot of people are like, man, the garage, like that's no good. But I'm like, if you have never experienced moments in your life, you will not appreciate how nice it was to be able to stay somewhere. For those of you who've never been that close to not having a place to go. And he brought me in. He's like, man, I put air conditioning in there. It's got carpet. So I bought myself a little twin mattress, and I stayed there. I slept on that twin mattress every night in the garage, and they allowed for my dog to stay there with me, and his wife Sabrina cooked all the time dinner, always had food for me to eat, always had extra. And for that kind of stuff, like, I will forever be grateful for that. And I think that kind of ties into what I'm doing now and why I want to help people, because without the help of others, man, I don't know what would have happened. I would have been on the streets. So who knows? But the point of emphasis on this is, in this moment in time, I was focused on all the negative things that had happened over the years, all the bad things, and what I didn't have, and why me, and poor me, and my little pity party kind of stuff. And it wasn't until I was in that situation, and we were going to church, and Eddie's grandfather Poppy was the pastor, and every Sunday I felt like he was preaching just to me. And at one point I was like, dude, give me a Sunday off, go preach to someone else. There's other people with problems. But really, it was touching things in my heart that I needed to change, and one of them was my attitude. And I did not have an attitude of gratitude. I focused on all the negatives and what was not there instead of focusing on what was there. And little by little I started focusing on, man, I got a bed, I'm sleeping in a bed, my dog is here with me, I have food, I'm with a family that loves me. And there was just, I don't remember what happened, but there was one point where I was like, no matter how bad this situation is right now, there are other people in the world that are praying to move up to where I'm at. And that kind of helped me focus and change my attitude. And every day I tried to pray about something I was thankful for. And I'm not gonna lie, there were some bad days, and all I was just like, thank you for getting me through this day. I'm done. Good night. And that was it. But little by little, what happened is my heart started to change. I started to focus on things I did have. And little by little, as my attitude changed, it reflected on what was going on around me. My situation changed, my circumstances changed, and man, it was a very important lesson to learn, and it was difficult. But without the love of my friends, I needed that. I needed that time, kind of isolated from everything else, to focus on my attitude and change what was in here, and that made all the difference. So the one thing I want to challenge you with as you continue with your Thanksgiving Day, if you're in a place that celebrates it, is try to think of every day as Thanksgiving. Try to find something that you're grateful for, something that you're thankful for. And as I mentioned, man, there was days where I was just like, thank you that I'm done with this day. And there will be times like that, and that's okay. Don't feel bad about yourself for having those days. You will have those days. And just remember, if you're a Christian, remember who you are. You are a son or a daughter of God. Jesus died for you, for me, and for you. If you're not, or you haven't accepted Jesus, and you have questions like, what is God's love? What is God's mercy? What is God's grace? Man, I'm telling you, without that, this life is impossible. You can take it from me, from my lowest points to my highest points. And that's why I'm here in Nicaragua right now, these past 2 years, why I've been a missionary, why I've been a volunteer teacher, because I've been down here and I've been pulled out of it. And I see like how the love of God and the grace and the mercy, like I was given things I did not deserve. I was blessed beyond measure with things I didn't deserve. And I want to give other people that opportunity. I want to help my students, the communities around here. There's only so much I can do. I do the best I can, but every day, at the end of the day, my wife and I, before we go to bed, we pray, about the day, things that happened, and we try to talk about things that we're thankful for, even especially on the hard days. So that's my challenge for you, is to live every day like it's Thanksgiving. Don't look for the things you don't have. Look for the things you do have. Be grateful for that, and eventually it will change. Your heart will change, and you will see differences in your life. So that's all I got for today. Happy Thanksgiving to my family and friends back home. I miss you. I'm less than 1 week away from being home. I hope I can see you all when I get there. Adios.